Thanks for tuning in to the Kennel, a Cleveland football podcast, episode 138. Here to break down the Titans' victory, or the Browns' victory against the Titans.
Legendary victory of epic proportion.
The most important victory of our season so far, in my humble opinion. I am Gian Trotta here with my co-host Stevie James, here to break it down.
What a great game. 38-7 at halftime.
Really,
and I know
great first half if you
the second
half. It was a fun game overall.
Yeah, the second half got a little weird, but that's okay.
It happens.
What are you going to do?
Best of them.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Football Kennel. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment, like the video, whatever the hell. Podcast, 5 stars, all the shit.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, you get it.
Stuff.
You know what to do.
We're going to break down the game. We're going to go over our quick predict reveals. And we're going to have some fun with it. Let's get into it.
A lot of fun stuff to go over. What a game.
Game review.
So the Browns win 41-35. The score makes it look a lot closer than it was. Things did get a little scary there at the end with a fumble and onside kick potential, very scary. But here's what really happened. So during the first half of the game, you were house shopping, so you missed. Well, you were still watching on your phone. You were plugged in.
I was watching on my phone intently. My realtor was annoyed, but
you were house shopping, and I was watching alone at the Winking Lizard up the street from your house, waiting for you basically. Mm-hmm. And during that time, the Browns went up 38-7. So what this means is now I have to watch all the games alone at a bar, and you have to go house shopping
every Sunday, even after we find
for the duration of every game for the rest of your life.
Of my life.
Yeah, Monday night against the Ravens. So that's gonna be weird. Game starts at like 8:00. That's when you have to
even if I have no appointments, I just have to start showing up to open houses, I guess.
Or even maybe houses people already live in.
Just knock.
Hey,
you guys mind if I take a look around?
Yeah, 9-10 o'clock, maybe just peek in through the windows.
I think we're taking this a different direction.
And if they catch you, be like, I'm just house shopping.
So the Browns' victory,
all right,
against the Titans, a huge win for the AFC divisional run or playoff run that the Browns are. I mean, they're on a tear. I mean, and this is the biggest thing that they've been criticized win after win after win is no wins on anyone meaningful, really, besides the Colts this season. Well, the Titans are meaningful. The Titans are one of the top teams in the AFC. They're a sure-in for the playoffs.
But now that they're already walking it back, like, well, the Titans' defense isn't even that good, and they played bad, so, like, Cleveland still isn't proving it. I've been listening to all the talking heads.
Everyone's gonna talk it back. The Titans are legit, and the Titans are legit, especially offensively. And I know, obviously, we let them come back in that second half. I still give a lot of credit to the defense and what they were able to do. I mean, stopping Derrick Henry, but keeping him below 100 yards is huge. Not a lot of teams have been able to do that effectively this season. Obviously, they had to depend strongly on the passing game in the second half because by that point, we were up 38-7, was it?
Mm-hmm. 38-7 at halftime.
That's a franchise record.
That's right. Most points scored in a half ever. 38 points.
So there is some criticism, I think, and I want to start with that and then celebrate
for the rest of the episode.
So we're going to kind of do this backwards. We're going to go over the second half, which the second half, I would say, went pretty abysmal. It was the play calling went super conservative. We were pretty dedicated to the run, even though it really wasn't working in the first half, really wasn't working in the second half. And I think Mayfield only had 8 passes in the second half.
Very few, yeah.
So
we had some 3-and-outs, a lot of penalties.
Right, a lot of sloppiness, and a lot of quick 3-and-out situations where we got taken off the field quickly offensively, which was the opposite of what the game plan should have been, keeping Derrick Henry on the bench, keeping that offense on the bench. So, I mean, I won't lie, I was nervous during that last onside kick.
I was nervous 38-7 at halftime. Yeah. I was like, yeah, okay.
Walking on eggshells, huh?
Yeah, no, very scary because it's the Browns, so anything's possible.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about it the entire time while we were watching the game. Didn't we have like the greatest away comeback?
Yeah, we came back against the Titans, down 28-3.
And I was like, wouldn't it be something?
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it be something?
Yeah, I could see the memes. Yeah.
Instead, we get revenge for the Week 1 blowout of last year.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin Stefanski, rookie head coach, there hasn't been a lot of games that we're super ahead in. The last time we saw something like this was against the Dallas Cowboys, where we built up a sizable lead and then had some scary moments in the second half of the game with Dak Prescott being able to throw for over 500 yards and getting the Cowboys close to being back into the game. So similar situation here. This is only our second time really being up late in the game, and we saw it with the Colts. We were able to get out to a pretty early lead, but I think we held that in check a lot better. In this game against the Titans, not a great second half, very scary, and not something that we can do. Because if you think about it, I mean, how often are you going to go up 38-7?
Yeah.
So if you're up 21-7 and you let the Titans have a second half like that, well, all of a sudden you're losing by double digits.
I'll flip it on the head on you and I'll say, imagine that versus the Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna come back.
Yeah, and so I think what needs to happen, and I think Stefanski and company will learn this lesson. Just keep being aggressive. I understand trying to control the ball. We're a second half running football team, of course, all that stuff. But stay aggressive. The Titans proved that they had no answer, and Baker Mayfield could not have been more on fire. So I would have kept rolling with him.
Stick with the hot hand. I agree completely. And I would say I get the mindset of depend on the run, especially in the second half. We've done it before. It's kind of been our game plan, our MO this entire season. But I agree with you. I think I would have started that maybe later into the third quarter or even into the fourth quarter, where you start maybe depending on the run a little bit more. But like you said, Baker was hot. We were up by a lot. We were not in a situation to take the metal off the pedal or whatever, pedal off the metal. One of those words.
Yes. Expressions, idioms. Yes.
Idiots.
Yeah, I think we should have came out at halftime just as aggressive as we came out in the beginning of the game, and done that, like you just mentioned, throughout, I don't know, maybe the whole third quarter, maybe longer. Mm-hmm. I think if you lose because you're overly aggressive, that stings less than losing because you played it too safe.
Sure.
But we won, so it doesn't matter. So I think that's about all the negativity we get into.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm
flipping it immediately to celebration, victory Monday.
Yeah, let's start with Baker Mayfield. Everyone's been doubting Baker Mayfield forever except for these guys here. And I think we had a conversation, I just can't quite remember, going into the pregame episode before this game where we said, I bet they throw it a lot.
I bet they do what they did against the Colts.
In the beginning of the game, and I bet it works. Who said that?
I don't know.
Maybe two really good-looking, smart guys. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. But anyways, Baker Mayfield comes out in the first half of this game, throws 4 touchdowns, perfect quarterback rating. Everything is sizzling. Could have been 5 if Donovan Peoples-Jones didn't drop the first one
that we ended up settling for 3
in the opening drive. And then there's just all kinds of crazy stats that come out of this. So this is the second time this year that Baker Mayfield's thrown 4 touchdowns in one half of football. So twice now he's done it this year. All the other quarterbacks in the NFL combined, 0 times. Huh. That's weird. Oh, it's just against the Bengals. Oh, it's just against the Titans. Well, then how come no one else has done it? It's just the Bengals. Everyone should be throwing 4 touchdowns and a half against the Bengals, right? Or the Titans? Come on, they can't even get a pass rush. Everyone should have.
You're telling me no one's done it against the Jets?
Well, that's weird. Wait, you're telling me Big Ben threw 3 interceptions against the Titans? But the Titans are terrible. What are you talking about? I mean, Baker Mayfield carved him up. They're horrible.
See what we're dealing with.
Feels good.
Dealing with here.
Actually, you know what? It feels really good. It feels really damn good. I'm super proud of Baker. We tweeted. I don't know, early in the season, Baker Mayfield's our quarterback, and that's the hill we're prepared to die on. And a lot of people agree, but a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to be a lonely hill to die on. We have had faith in Baker since day one, throughout all of last season. And even now, there's people still like, well, we still got to see it over more time. But what did we say before the season started? All we wanted, more than anything, which, of course, winning, which is incredible, but what we really asked for more than anything was just progressing, getting better as the season went on, instead of getting worse and turning into a fucking dumpster fire like we always do. And that's what you're seeing now. We've talked about how Baker's in his 4th offensive system or whatever it is, and no off season and rookie head coach and all this stuff. But now we're seeing in that was the 12th game of the season, so we're 3 quarters through the season, it's starting to really, really click.
Yeah, and in all facets of the game, I think despite the second half, the defense still put up a hell of a game. I think obviously we have a really balanced offense, and as long as Baker continues to do what he has done, which is not turning the football over, being careful with the football, and obviously producing with the passing game, we no longer become one-dimensional offensively, and that's huge.
Oh, game changer. And he's now gone, 5 consecutive games now without interception, 150-plus consecutive attempts, and with Deshaun Watson throwing an interception over the weekend, Baker Mayfield now has the longest active streak for passes without an interception. Incredible.
And
everyone thought that was like unfixable.
And then, to credit, it really should go to the offensive line in this, is because you keep your quarterback safe, allows him to develop and allows him to get better, and obviously allows him to stay healthy. The offensive line, absolutely stellar, 0 sacks, and only 1 quarterback hit, which is, elite.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that our entire offensive line is worthy of the Pro Bowl, straight up.
Yeah.
And I know Pro Football Focus and other metrics, Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller are the 2 highest rated guards in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive to have the lock on the 2 best guards. And I know Joel Bitonio, and I want to say Wyatt Teller as well, are up there in Pro Bowl voting, so I think they will. It
wouldn't surprise me. Joel Bitonio is usually a shoe-in for the Pro Bowl.
Lately. Yeah, for sure. And, going back to Baker Mayfield.
I think really since his rookie year.
Yeah, he's been great. Going back to Baker Mayfield and his accuracy, so obviously we talk about five consecutive games at interceptions, over 150 consecutive attempts. In this game, 0 off-target throws.
Unbelievable.
Every single throw was catchable, was on target. It was just maybe he had like a throwaway, but other than that, just incredible performance.
And then I know I mentioned no turnovers, but obviously he did have the fumble really late in the game. But I personally, I don't think that was a fumble. I didn't see it. I thought he was down by that point, but I wasn't surprised that they gave it to him.
You mean the QB sneak on 4th down?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a fumble either. I thought he was down.
Yeah. But and another thing, too, is why are we running a QB sneak when Nick Chubb is your running back? So it goes back again to the play calling. But I know he said we wouldn't be negative anymore. Back to the positive. We've really depended on the passing game this time around, which was completely different. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, 14 carries, 33 yards for Hunt, 18 carries, 80 yards for Chubb.
And Chubb was able to get in the end zone. Kareem Hunt, not as much running room today. Nick Chubb, not as much as you normally see, but still over 100 yards on the ground, a productive rushing attack. I think we got a little stuck on it in the second half, and there's a little more we could have done in the passing game, but huge game for the receivers. Rashard Higgins continues to come through, 6 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Big time for Higgins. He got to walk the red carpet. Donovan Peoples-Jones, we mentioned the drop earlier in the game, which hurt a lot. Could have been a touchdown, but he's able to redeem himself almost immediately with a beautiful stop-and-go 75-yard touchdown
got
over the top
open
off the play action. That was
crazy
incredible.
Play. Yeah,
a great play design by Stefanski. We're using, you're talking about the offensive line not allowing any sacks, very little pressure, all those different things. A lot of that is, of course, the offensive line playing great, but it's also the play action passes we're able to run because we have great backs like Chubb and Hunt. How Baker Mayfield has gotten so excellent at running those play actions, using the hard count, drawing people off sides. He did it again this week.
In a pivotal moment, too.
Yeah, and all of that's lined up by Kevin Stefanski. So for the first time, it really is, since I've ever watched the Browns, it seems like literally the entire team is on the same page.
We're like a real NFL football team for the first time.
Like a real one.
I remember
like a good one.
We watched the Browns, and then we would watch the Patriots, and we'd be like, man, it's night and day. It's like they're playing a different sport. It no longer feels that way. And then, of course, we had that the trick play with Jarvis throwing that lob pass over to Mayfield. Mayfield becoming wide receiver 1 there with the one-handed crazy toe-tapping catch.
Incredible.
And then, again, the big man touchdown at the end zone. I think it was at that
Kendall
same
Lamb.
drive.
Yeah, I think it was the same drive.
Kendall Lamb with the right at the goal line. What a beautiful play design.
Incredible.
I don't know about you, but I watched the replay a couple times, and the first time when it happened live, obviously, I think at that point I was still house shopping. It caught me off guard. They played that perfectly. They did the blocking perfectly to make it seem like Nick Chubb was going to dive into the end zone from the right side, which he did. He pretended to dive.
Yeah, and a couple guys went to go tackle him.
Everyone looked that way, besides obviously the defenders that were going after receivers. You see the linebacker bit on Kareem Hunt off the
and Baker Mayfield.
left side.
Baker Mayfield was staring at Kareem Hunt to draw him over.
Yep, and then just wide open Kendall Lamb. Kendall Lamb too. By the way, I watched him a couple times during the replay. Perfect acting block. He took it on full. He was just like, I'm just here to be.
He always kind of made it look like he kind of missed the block. He was like, you got by me. Anyways, touchdown. Let's go up, Hunt. Yeah, that was insane. And adding to that, what we saw on that play and a few plays in this game was Baker Mayfield moving the defense with his eyes. And he's gotten a lot of criticism for being a one-read quarterback.
Which I think are baseless.
Which I think sometimes, sure, but I think generally speaking, Baker Mayfield, he showed in college and early in his rookie year that he has the ability to go through his options and also look off defenders. But we saw that especially on that play.
He's not a one-read QB.
Yeah, we saw that especially on that play that you just described. And we also saw it on the Jarvis Landry touchdown pass where Jarvis Landry ran the slant and Baker Mayfield kept looking to his right to draw the safety that way. Jarvis beats his guy. Baker puts it on a rope between the defensive line, the linebacker, the safety can't get there in time, throws it back shoulder for Jarvis to protect him. Incredible.
Yeah, and then, I mean, that was a rocket, too.
Oh, beautiful.
He darted
throw.
that in there. And then, I wanted to, we obviously we talked about the offensive performance, but I did want to touch base a little bit on the defense. 3 sacks by the defense, 2 turnovers, and one guy I think gets kudos is Sheldon Richardson, especially in the first half. That dude was on a mission, a man possessed. He nailed Derrick Henry on the 4th and 1. He got the fumble, stripped Henry. Which Carl Joseph recovered and finished the day with 4 tackles. The QB hit, almost 2 sacks. Overall, the defense, like we mentioned earlier, held Henry to 15 carries, 60 yards. So huge to hold that guy under 100 yards. Still kept, he's a 4-yard average, but still.
But he's averaging nearly 5. He's got 12, 13 touchdowns on the year. Keep him out of the end zone. Keep him at 4 yards a carry.
Too,
and
right.
Make him fumble for the first time this season. He hasn't fumbled since like week 13 or week 14 last year. So getting the big arm out there. Props to Sheldon Richardson. And going back to the offense really quick, because we did talk about the receivers, but we, didn't talk about Jarvis Landry and his numbers. 8 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown, and of course, 1 of 1 throwing the ball, getting that.
And 20 points for me in fantasy.
That's right. And what's interesting, Jarvis Landry
in the playoffs.
Is the Cleveland Browns' all-time leader in catches per game with 5. He averages 5 catches per game as a Cleveland Brown. That's the most in Cleveland Browns history.
That's awesome. Finally, a receiver that can catch.
It is nice. And I really briefly want to get into some stuff about all-time Brown stuff with Baker Mayfield. He needs 6 yards to get to 10,000 passing yards on his career, which is sick. He's got 70 career touchdown passes. With 1 more, he'll tie Bill Nelson for 5th most in Browns history. He's already, he passed Tim Couch, who had 64 for the most passing touchdowns by a quarterback since 99. He needs about 1,200 yards to catch up to Tim Couch on the passing yard list. That'll get him into 5th. So by the end of the season, it's very likely that Baker Mayfield is 5th in passing yards and in passing touchdowns. And then if you look at wins, Tim Couch won 22 games. He went 22-37 as a starting quarterback. Baker Mayfield's 21-20 now. So with another win, he'll tie Tim Couch for the most wins by a Browns quarterback since coming back in 99, which will put him at 8th overall. And, obviously they haven't had a lot of good things happen from the quarterback position. The top of the guys on all these lists are Otto Graham, Brian Sipe, Bernie Kosar, Frank Ryan, etc. So and those guys all played a long time ago. So we haven't had a lot of success at the quarterback position, but to sit here and act like Baker Mayfield isn't on a completely different level of any quarterback we've had to deal with in the past 20, 25 years, 30 years, is completely insane. Baker Mayfield's already working his way into the top 10, about to be into the top 5 on all the Cleveland Browns all-time lists, and it's beautiful. And he's also second all-time in yards per game. Josh McCown's actually first, but he only played 13 games.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, I love Baker Mayfield. And then one other quick thing I wanted to point out as well, before I forget, Nick Chubb leads since 99, he has the most rushing yards of any player on the team. And if you look at him overall, he's now into 9th on the Browns all-time rushing list, and he only needs 75 yards to pass Ernest Biner for 7th all time. And Nick Chubb only has played 40 games. Ernest Biner played 99. So he's doing it at a pretty insane clip. If you go to yards per game, Nick Chubb is 2nd all time. So Jim Brown's first at 104.3 yards per game. 2nd all time for the Browns is Nick Chubb at 82.2.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
So just I was poking around on Pro Football Reference today because I just, the Browns and see what's going
Browns
on.
win,
Oh, yeah, and one more final thing I almost forgot. Sorry, let me pull this up really briefly.
Keep them coming.
Let me see if I can find the correct buttons to click on here. Career leaders defense. I was looking at sacks, so you know who I'm about to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Because I learned that...
Paul Kruger.
That's right. So I learned that Myles Garrett is the first Browns player to have back-to-back seasons of 10-plus sacks.
Beautiful.
And he's now had 3 such seasons, so I'm like, he's got to be doing pretty good. There he is. Myles Garrett is 3rd on the Browns' all-time sack list with 41. He has to get to... Michael Dean Perry had 51.5, but Michael Dean Perry played 109 games. Myles Garrett's only played 47. And to put some perspectives for some of you older Browns fans who've been around since 99, I thought Jameer Miller, when he was with the Browns, was freaking awesome. He was our first Pro Bowler after the expansion. I felt like he got to the quarterback all the time. Jameer Miller played in 47 games, just like Myles Garrett, and Jameer Miller had 22.5 sacks. Myles Garrett in 47 games, 41 sacks. He's not far off from a sack a game, which we see it.
Elite.
But it's incredible what he's been able to do. So already multiple guys on this team are in the top list for a lot of stuff. And just honorable mention really quick, pass deflections, Denzel Ward, number 9. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, Key, do you have any more?
That's everybody. Denzel Ward at number 9. Joe Hayden leads that with 101. Denzel Ward's only got 37. So he's got a bit of a ways to go, but Joe Hayden played 90 games. Denzel Ward's played 35. So he's on pace to definitely surpass Joe Hayden if he's able to stay healthy and stay with the Browns. But moral of the story is, this is easily...
The best Browns team ever?
Maybe. It's definitely the best Browns team since 99 by a mile.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It's not even close, to be honest. Not even close. At this point, I know we still have, 4 games to go, knock on wood, but man, holy shit. And I was thinking about this too. So we've swept the AFC South. I think, AFC South, we beat the Colts, Titans, Jags, Texans. Beat them all. And the division we're playing in the NFC is the crappy NFC East. And we've beaten all of them, the football team, Cowboys, Eagles, and all that's left is the Giants. Mm-hmm. Pretty incredible, like what we're doing here. I mean, we got a big game against the Ravens, obviously, to prove that, we're for real, because we got to keep proving it, because everyone, whatever.
And then
but a redemption game.
Man, yep. I was looking at the Steelers, and there's really not much of a chance that they won't go undefeated the rest of the season. So it would really, really be great if we ruined the perfect season for them.
Oh, that would be a dream.
That would be fantastic.
I hope the Chiefs keep winning so the Steelers can't just rest everyone in Week 17 and they have to try to get the win to go undefeated and also get home field. And the Browns are there.
That's fair.
And we beat them and they lose the first round bye. And they don't go undefeated. That would just be an incredible chain of events.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Derail their season. That'd be beautiful.
But yeah, so lots of beautiful stats, lots of exciting things happen.
They're winning right now, but not by a bunch.
Yeah, most of their games have been close. I don't like when people go, "Oh, the Steelers are undefeated, but they're a fraud." It's like, no, they're definitely really good.
Really good, yeah.
Their defense is nasty. Their offense is filled with weapons. They play down to their competition, except for when it's the Browns and they blow us out. But we're gonna have redemption at the end of the year. Well, our team is completely different than what it was when we faced the Ravens and the Steelers earlier in the season.
We had key injuries against the Steelers, and I think everyone forgets that. A lot of missing guys. Wyatt Teller was out by then. Pretty sure we didn't have Nick Chubb either.
No Nick Chubb.
Yeah, so that was huge. And I think defensively, didn't we not have Denzel Ward or something like that?
I don't know. He misses a lot of time lately.
Yeah, not late.
I know. I'm sorry. I just want to see him on the field.
Don't knock the Ward.
I'm not.
He'll be back. He'll be back in a few games. It'll be all good. But yeah, I just don't like Big Ben. I don't like the Steelers. I hope they lose. I hope they lose out. They probably won't.
Sound like you're saying I hope they die.
To be honest, I was.
That is what you were going to say.
It was 100%. I censored myself, if you will. I kept it inside. I was like, I shouldn't say that. That's not right.
Good.
They're people too.
Yeah. I wish them
dirty, gross people.
I wish them tons of health
with
and
like piss-soaked towels. They spin them around.
Yeah,
you hear
weird,
about that?
Yeah.
You hear about that? They have these towels. They call them the terrible towels.
And they piss on them. That's why they're yellow.
To make them yellow.
Yeah.
And then they spin them around.
So
get pee on everyone.
So that's why you can't go to a Pittsburgh game.
While they're hooking up with their sisters.
Yeah, you can't go to a Pittsburgh game. So you're covered in their piss as they flounder. Ugh.
While making out with their family members.
Yeah, it's weird. Yep, that's right. That's
weird traditions for Pittsburgh Steelers football.
That's exactly what
I heard
happens.
about.
All right, so moral of the story is I love the Browns. I can't believe we're 9-3.
Moral of the story: the Browns are the best.
I'll
die for the Browns.
I will die for the Browns. 9-3. I had never seen anything like it. I mean, who could have predicted that besides me before the season started?
Yes.
Who could have ever?
Who would have guessed?
Who could have ever predicted that? Oh, me. 9-3, literally to the T.
Yeah, right on it, man. But I'm so impressed. We both predicted a win.
Yeah, this is true. So I did predict them to go 13-3. So definitely still have a bit of a ways to go through the.
Well, you wanted them to win out, and they're doing it. So.
Well, the Giants are looking like they're going to be tough. Ravens are always tough. At least it's at home on Monday night. I'm terrified of the Jets because I don't think they're going to have any wins. They just fired Greg Williams. I don't think they're going to have any wins, and I'm just terrified of playing a winless team because I want them to go winless so bad. And it's just scary because we went winless, and there's got to be some weird cosmic karma there. So just little things like that scare me. Then, of course, you got the Steelers at the end. So winning out's going to be difficult, but overall, I do feel really good about it. I mean, the stats are crazy. The Browns are crazy. Everything is awesome. Yeah, Titans lost, dude. Losers. We got to learn how to close out games a little better for sure. But I think Kevin Stefanski will. He's hypercritical and always trying to get better. And Baker Mayfield's in that mindset where he's hypercritical. It's good. And they keep posting that Kobe Bryant press conference clip, all the players, where Kobe's up 2-0 in the finals, and the reporter's like, why aren't you smiling? Aren't you happy?
And he's like, job's not done. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And why would I be happy?
Job's not done. And all our players keep posting that over and over again, like after every game, and they keep going 1-0. Kevin Stefanski's got them dialed in one game at a time. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, he's our coach, man. It's unbelievable what he's doing.
Coach of the year.
I was going to say he's in the running.
I mean, props to Brian Flores. Brian Flores with the Dolphins, crazy. 8-4, having different quarterbacks and all that. But come on, dude, this is the Browns we're talking about. You got the Browns at 9-3.
A few years removed from 0-16, and then a season before 1-15. There's nothing. There's never been anything like it. We've been waiting for this moment forever, and what he's been able to do as a rookie head coach with no off season, adapting to COVID, dealing with it like every team has to this season, of course. But I'm just saying, as a rookie head coach, your first coaching experience, being able to handle that as well as he did, being able to handle Baker as well as he has, adapting to a new play style, and even something as like working with his mechanics, changing his footwork to get him to be a better quarterback. All these things that we've been waiting for someone to do in Cleveland since the return, and we've got it, man. So it's. I know there's still a few games left, but I think we're making the playoffs, which is the craziest thing anyone could ever say as a Browns fan. The world is ending. The Browns are winning. Let's go.
Yeah, we're 12 games into the season, and only 3 teams have a better record than the Browns.
Anyways. You ready for some Kennel quick predicts?
The results, yes. Let's get these points. Probably didn't get a lot of points, but let's...
Not a lot of points, but a lot of points will be handed out anyways because...
The Browns win.
That's right.
Let's take it out.
Quick predicts.
Hashtag Kennel Quick Predicts. Make sure you use the hashtag to participate with us on hashtag Kennel Quick Predicts. We love Quick Predicts. It's like our favorite parts of the episodes besides talking about the Browns winning because they win a lot. Today, our participants, we had 3 from YouTube, which is a change. Usually we get more from Twitter, but YouTube, Brian, Francisco, and a new one, Doug Newman.
What up, Doug?
What up, Doug? And then Twitter, Bobo and Casey Kinnaman. And we'll start off with the most important quick predict, Myles Garrett sacks.
Remember when our friends Euler and Parker participated? Huh,
well,
guys?
We have new, much better virtual friends that listen to our show, like Casey Kinnaman and Bobo and Brian Francisco and Doug Newman.
Yeah, they're much better. Much better friends.
Myles Garrett sacks, I love our friends. Myles Garrett sacks, you went with 2. I went with 1.
And it was 1.
Actual is 1. I am the winner. Give me the points.
Doug did 1 as well. He can have some points.
Doug gets some points. No one else gets points. Points for me.
Derrick Henry rushing total. No Browns fan had the balls to say... he wasn't going to do well. Everyone was well over 100 yards. He only had 60. So I don't think anyone gets points for that.
No points for anyone. No points. We actually held Henry under 100 yards, which no one
incredible.
So.
And we were going to ask the question, who's going to have more rushing yards, Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry? But we ended up just doing rushing totals for both.
I think in hindsight, that would have been a much better quick predict question.
Yes, but we didn't do that. And at the end of the day, Nick Chubb did have more rushing yards than Derrick Henry, 80 to his 60. But as far as our predictions, everyone predicted way more than 100. So not looking good there either.
Nope.
But
Nick
I'll take
Chubb,
it.
80 yards. We all went over 100. I'll take the win. No points for anyone now. So should we just give everyone points for Nick Chubb outrunning Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I think everyone deserves. Well, everyone who thought that he was going to.
Okay, so points
which is a
for
little
me.
Tricky.
No, it's not. Very easy. Points for me and you.
In KCK.
Points for me and you first, and then blah, blah, blah. And then points for Looks like
KCK, Brian, and Francisco.
KCK, Brian, and Francisco. Yep.
Boom. All right, points for you guys.
Points for you guys.
Because we make it up as we go.
Making it up as we go.
All right, cool. Last important one. Final score. I was pretty modest in hindsight with my score. I thought 24-21.
You thought it would be a tight game.
Yeah, you said 32-29. Also thought it'd be a tight game, but a little more scoring.
Yeah.
And you were pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close, as I usually am.
Hey, well, final score 41-35. Score is way too close. I was really hoping we could maintain the blowout to fix our point differential because we're still have a negative point differential on the season despite being 9-3 due to the blowout losses to the Steelers and Ravens. But we have a good way to remedy that against the Ravens on Monday night. But I would have loved to close this game out with a much larger margin to finally fix that.
Well, we'll blow out maybe, potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed, the Giants, the Jets.
And the Ravens.
And the Ravens.
And the Steelers.
So we'll have it in the Steelers. And then maybe the Bills, too.
Yeah, and then
so
the
for
Chiefs,
the rest of the season.
And then the Saints. And then we hold up like this big trophy thing because there's no more players there's no more teams to play against.
The Chiefs. And then there's one more team we would have to blow out. The Chiefs.
Steelers.
No, it would be
the Steelers again in the playoffs.
It would be the Steelers. The Steelers again. It wouldn't be the Steelers.
Could be.
It could be.
If we want to go to the Super Bowl, we might have to play them again.
Yeah,
I
think we're going to face the Titans in the playoffs.
Right now, we're matched up to face the Titans, and before it was the Bills. And I'll tell you what, looking at the Bills,
I thought we were facing the Chiefs.
Maybe at one point, but most recently it was the Bills. Now it's the Titans, but there's still 4 games to go, so that's going to change like crazy. But beating the Titans like this, and we have beaten the Colts, and the Raiders, I think was weird because of the weather. But looking at these teams and these games, like I'm to the point where I feel so good about not just getting to the playoffs, but we could win a game or two. We could make some noise in the NFL playoffs, and of course it would be the season when we can't have people in the fans. But whatever. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of a lot of winning for a long time, as far as I'm concerned. Knock on wood. I'm not even afraid to say it. I think we've run the curse out. It's been so freaking long of being horrible.
So I think we face the Steelers.
At the moment, no, it'd be the Titans.
So
the top team gets a bye. Second, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6.
Oh, is that
4
how it
plays
is?
5. Yeah, so we would play the Titans in Tennessee because they're a division winner.
I thought it was 1 plays 5.
No, top seed gets the bye.
Okay.
And then it's 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5.
Oh yeah, so we would face the Titans.
We would face the Titans as it stands right now. What an exciting time. Talking about playoffs. See, I don't even know how playoffs work. It's been so long. Yeah, who plays who? How do we know?
Well, I don't even think we did this, but I get points for being super close. And then KCK and Francisco, everyone was kind of really close, but KCK and Francisco, I think, get the points for being the closest. And then from there, points for everybody except for Doug. We're looking at you, Doug.
He predicted it. I think Doug might have been a troll. I think he might have been a Titans fan sneaking in.
Doug might have been a troll. But he also lost.
Well, he's a loser.
And he's got points for the Myles Garrett. Quick predict. I want to take it back.
All right, take it back.
I'm taking it back.
We're taking a point away from you, Doug.
Negative points for Doug.
Yeah, negative. Yeah, no points for you,
No
Doug.
points for Doug. But points for you. Extra points, I think, for you for guessing not just a win in our episode 120 NFL schedule prediction, but that the Browns would be 9-3 after beating the Titans this week.
And here we are. You had them at 7-5, which is still commendable.
Yeah, I think they're going to finish the season 11-5, so they win out from here on out.
Cool. I think they're going to win out from here on out as well, which will take us to 13-3. We talked about this last episode, though. It is funny because, of course, the whole season we just predicted a win every week once we got to the game.
Well, I said I would go with my schedule prediction from here on out.
Well, that's cheating, though, because you predicted a win.
That's not cheating.
Every
That's
way
just what ended up happening with my.
Yeah. So that's where I'm kind of cheating, where it's like I predicted the Browns would go 9-3 exactly. It's like, well, if you go week by week, I was predicting a win every week. But before the season, when emotions weren't on the line, I did say 9-3, and we are 9-3.
That's what I'm saying. That's still. I feel like that's still worth mentioning. We originally look at the week to week prediction before then mentioning as a caveat. Hey, check out what we did in 120. We were like good about this and stuff.
That's right.
We kind of like know what we're talking about.
Kinda sometimes.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Wow.
Both my fantasy football teams are going to be in the playoffs, so that's legit.
Yours is
top seed. I won the championship last year in one of my 2 leagues, so we're like.
pros.
This is like legit, man.
If we put on a uniform, we'd be out on the field, basically.
Yeah, this is about as high
All
level.
All of this translates to athletic ability.
Yeah, this is high level content right here, and you guys are welcome.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome. I'm kidding. We kind of make it up as we go and get lucky.
And also, we're thankful, grateful for you guys.
No, you guys are sweet. Make sure you, we're going to wrap it up there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share.
Always kind of go a little off the rails there.
Yeah, well, like, subscribe, notification bells, tell your friends, family, random strangers on the street. Do whatever you got to do. Post about it on the internet. That'd be great. At Football Kennel. And we'll see you guys in a few days for the pregame show against the Ravens. Monday night divisional rival in Cleveland.
Huge game.
I got to look into this. It says curfew's 10 p.m. for like all the lockdown stuff, but the game starts at 8:20. So does everyone got to leave at 10, or how's that work? Make an exception?
It's a good question. NFL seems to be able to get exceptions.
Not for the San Francisco 49ers have to play in Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
It's all weird. Anyways, I digress. We'll see you guys in a few days, and we'll be talking Ravens. Maybe we'll figure out some of those answers between now and then. But we'll see you soon. Go Browns.
Go Browns.